let me just spell out the platform of this time with us. Lori will do her presentation. Lori will tell us how she would like to take questions. When she does open up, she'll inform us on the best way to take questions. There is a chat feature as well. Myself and Heidi will monitor the chat where you can enter questions as Lori is going along the PowerPoint as well. So don't hesitate to enter comments there. Following Lori's presentation, if there is time, we typically do open the floor for providers to introduce yourselves as providers, and I'll give more instruction then. As Lori do pause and take questions, however she determines she wants to take questions, I am going to ask that you take in mind, this is a public platform, so we want to make sure that we are sensitive to your individual or loved ones' protective health information. So we don't want to overshare in this platform, but do ask as many general questions as you need to get the best direction and education for yourselves. So without further ado, I'll be quiet and give it to Lori. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, and that's perfect advice. Please feel free to ask questions. Use the chat if you think of something while I'm talking. And then at the end, I'm happy to answer all the questions that you guys have, and we can go through the chat. But yeah, just try not to overshare too much with specifics about your clients or folks you're working with, just because this is pretty public. But certainly if there is a really specific question you have, I'll share my contact information at the end, and you can always reach out and we can kind of dig a little deeper into what that specific scenario is. But with that, I am going to share my screen and share sound. Here we go. Let me hide this and let's go to slideshow. There we go, from the beginning. So I am Lori. I am the executive director here at the Maryland Assistive Technology Program, and we are part of the Maryland Department of Disabilities. Within the Department of Disabilities, there's a lot of different areas that the department really focuses on, but most of those are policy areas. So we are one of the few direct programs under the department, and that means when you work with us, there are sort of tangible things you're going to take away from. We have direct services and programs that we're providing. So just really quickly, a little bit about me. Again, I'm the director of the program here. I've worked in the assistive technology field for over 20 years. I have postgraduate certification in assistive technology applications from California State, have a bachelor's, master's, and completing a second master's in applied behavior analysis. So I'm really interested in that sort of intersection of how assistive technology can support individuals to not only improve functional skills, but how do we use tech to ensure that somebody has sort of the most appropriate sort of social behaviors, and how do we support that? How can we use technology to really improve life in many different aspects? And I am a parent of 3 kids, 2 of whom are neurodiverse. So a little bit about assistive technology in general, so folks know kind of the top down what we're talking about and what we're doing here. Assistive technology has been around for a long time, but in 1998, there was legislation that was passed. It was the Assistive Technology Act. It was federal legislation that was passed requiring that every state and U.S. territory had an assistive technology program. And in 1988, that kind of looked like a number of things. In some states, it was a lot of information about assistive technology. In some states, there were more direct programs. Over time, that sort of was modified, and it was modified for consistency. So between 1998, 2004, and again in 2022, the AT Act has continually been refined. But what that means is this is federal legislation. So there is a federal law that says every state and U.S. territory has to have a program, and every state and U.S. territory has to offer some key pillars of services that are the same. So if you're in Maryland, Delaware, DC, Puerto Rico, it doesn't matter. No matter where you go, these programs are going to offer sort of the same services. And so what that is device loans. So like the lending library for books, we are the lending library for assistive technology. We provide demonstrations, we provide financing, and I'm going to talk about what that looks like. We're going to provide gently used AT. I'll talk about what that looks like. And then some of the stuff that like we're doing here, public awareness, information and assistance, all of those things. So again, there's this federal law that says we must exist. There's a federal law that says we are supposed to receive some federal money every year to perform all of these activities. And here in the state of Maryland, we are housed or tucked into the Department of Disabilities. In some states, the AT programs are housed within universities. In other states, they're housed within nonprofits. So there are some variation in terms of how much the programs do or what specifically they do. But by and large, our core services are the same. So we are this federal legislation. We have this federal legislation, and that legislation really interacts with other key disability laws. That includes the Rehabilitation Act, the ADA, IDEA, ESA, which is Every Student Succeeds Act. So assistive technology is a part of all of those different pieces of legislation. And our role is to sort of fill that AT expectation and that AT role when assistive technology is written into all of these other federal laws. So we work with schools, we work with businesses, we work with state agencies to ensure that when someone needs assistive technology, that there is a process and that they have access through our program to trying equipment out. We have assistive technology awareness days on a national level. This year it is actually going to be April 20th, so it changes year to year, but last year it was April 30th. And that's where we really kind of try to share more information about assistive technology and its role in the community and how it can impact an individual's life. So again, we are the Maryland AT program. We're providing these core services statewide. We are free. There is no cost to use our program. There is no application process. There's no validation that somebody needs to do to verify that they have a disability to come to us. We are essentially an open door program. Just like you can walk into the public library, anybody can. You don't have to demonstrate anything to use the public library. It is the same way with the AT Act programs. You don't need to justify or verify or get a referral to come to us. Anybody can reach out and access our services. So what is assistive technology? And this is really broad. Assistive technology is really anything that is designed to help an individual in their daily life. That can be tech to help them at home, tech to help them at school or at work. And it really does run this big gamut. You can have an app on your phone that just you turn on and it provides live transcription. So if you are, let's say this is legislative session, so you're attending a hearing and you're having trouble hearing everything that's being said in that room, you can turn an app on your phone and it's just going to give you live transcription of what's going on. If you have somebody who is low vision and they're having trouble reading a document, you can take a picture with your phone and have it read it out loud to you. That's all assistive technology. If you're looking for support with navigating, so somebody is got a developmental disability and they're having trouble following directions, you can use a GPS system that is very simplified to help that individual. So again, assistive technology can be really integrated into the things that we have every day. It could also be dedicated. So you can have a desktop magnifier set up just like they do at the library, or you can have a communication device that you carry around with you that communicates if you are nonverbal. So it's really any number of things. And the benefit of our program is that anybody can come to us. And as we explore what the needs are, so what is the disability? What is the challenge that this person is experiencing? What is the setting that they're having this challenge within? Then we can help figure out what is going to work best for that individual. Again, just kind of a little diagram of some types of assistive technology. This is obviously not all encompassing, but there's vision supports, there's hearing supports, lots of amplification systems that we can talk about, or live captioning systems or alerting systems. If somebody is in school or at work and they need help with note taking, or they need help with prompting and visual schedules and reminders, again, these are all things that can be sort of integrated and explored through our program. So we're working with individuals who, have different goals. They could be at work and they're experiencing some challenges. They could be in school and experiencing challenges. They could be within a day program. And we're just trying to figure out what's going to help make that day more meaningful and engaging, and what tech is out there that can help them communicate their needs in the program more easily. Again, it's very broad, but that's the beauty of our program, is that we're sort of covering all disabilities, all areas. So I am going to play this video. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear it. If you can't, that's fine. We'll just kind of skip it. But it's just a short 2-minute video that we put together around sort of what is assistive technology. And it's just a very general overview video. So I'm going to start it. Just again, thumbs up if you can hear it.
We all like to do things like read, use the computer, cook our own food, or even play video games. It's how we play, learn, work, and get things done. But when a disability makes it harder to do something we'd like to do, we might need a little help. Luckily, there's a solution. Welcome to Assistive Technology, plain and simple. Assistive technology, or AT, is anything that helps you do something more independently, like walk, cook, communicate, play with friends, and more. These helpful tools can be as simple as a weighted grip on a fork, making it easier to grasp, hold, and eat. It can be as common as a free app that takes a picture of words and reads the text out loud, making it possible for a student to read and learn. Or as sophisticated as software that makes it possible for an employee to write emails and draft documents just by talking to their computer. It could even be as customized as video game controllers created for players who need to plug in switches or play video games with just their eyes. Whether you are young or old, whether you've had a disability from birth or developed one over the years, AT can help. Finding AT is easier than you might think. Every state has an Assistive Technology Act program to help you find AT. These programs allow people to see and borrow AT in their lending libraries. The AT library staff in each state will help you explore a variety of technology options. The lending libraries let you try different kinds of AT to find what works best, and to borrow the AT to try out at home, school, or the workplace. Some AT programs can help find the best ways to pay for AT, and sometimes they'll help find the needed AT for free. To find the AT program in your state, check out the Association of Assistive Technology Act programs at ataporg.org. So now you know a little about AT. It helps you do something that you couldn't do without it, and it's available in every state. This has been...
There you go. It's just our short little video, very straightforward, about assistive technology. So when we're talking about AT and we're talking about like our program in Maryland, what exactly do we do? I've talked about this sort of in bigger picture, but really when you drill down, what are the things that we can offer? Excuse me. The picture on the left-hand side are some folks who attended one of our accessible and inclusive gaming events. So that is something that we host around the state throughout the year. We hold gaming events that get together folks of all different ages, all different disabilities, to have an opportunity to play video games together. The idea being that, video games can really bring people together, provide a way to fight social isolation, particularly for individuals with disabilities. So we like to host these events to sort of build awareness and to just give individuals an opportunity to have some camaraderie, some experience playing together. It's for both individuals with and without disabilities. And then, of course, we do a lot of outreach events where we take equipment and we show devices and we really try to talk one-on-one with individuals about what their needs are. We're a free service. Like I mentioned, we serve all ages, all disabilities, the entire state of Maryland. So our central library is here in Baltimore. That's where our office is located. And that's kind of the space that you see in the background of this picture. It's a big area. When you walk into this room, every area is set up to sort of accommodate different types of disabilities, and folks can come through, they can tour our library, but we also have 8 other smaller spaces around the state. Most of those are housed in the Centers for Independent Living, but they are spaces where individuals can go get some hands-on access to some of the most common or most popular devices that we have. And then they can also borrow them from those sites. If an individual needs to borrow equipment and they cannot make it out to our library, there are instances when we can ship items out to folks and then they can ship it back. There's no cost associated to the consumer. Again, the idea being we want to get equipment into individuals' hands before there is an investment of funds. The reason being is assistive technology is not covered through insurance. I'm sure you guys all know that that is not something that insurance will cover. AT can be written into waivers. So they're the DD community pathways waiver, but there are also like brain injury waiver, autism waiver. They all include assistive technology, but you need to have an opportunity to try it out to know what to write into that plan. So we encourage folks to try devices before any investment of funds are made. Again, with our program, you don't need to apply to borrow devices. You don't need a referral. You don't have to pre-qualify. It's a really straightforward process. If you're coming in to meet with us, to have that consultation, which is usually like about a 1.5 hour sit down that we do with the individual to really get a sense of what the needs are, where they're gonna, want to use the equipment. So if the idea is that someone's having some challenges with organizing thoughts at work, we can look at different tools that are going to support them. If someone is looking to be able to read books at home because they're starting to lose their vision, we're going to look at solutions that are going to fit that space. It's really about what the individual needs are and then sort of where they're going to use the tech. And we always say one size does not fit all. So it really is an opportunity to have that customized experience with us. Again, our central library here in Baltimore, but these are the spaces where we do have other smaller libraries where folks can go to get some hands-on access to those devices. I will say we are not a walk-in option. So you cannot just show up at the building to meet with us because we do have meetings and client bookings throughout the day. We do require folks to make appointments because we want to be able to give everybody sort of that due diligence and time. And we are a very small staff. So we do require appointments. If you want to come to our library, we do need to just book that with you. But again, we do those consultations. We can demo the equipment and then we can loan it to the individual to take home with them up to 4 weeks at a time. If individuals need to borrow something for longer than 4 weeks, that is okay, as long as there's not a wait list. So we will extend those device loans. No cost to borrow any of this equipment. You just kind of sign it out. Very straightforward process. And that consultation, I should say, is really consumer driven. So it's about the consumer saying to us what they're looking for, what they're hoping for. There's a difference between that consultation and someone coming to us and saying, I have no idea what I need. I need you to tell me what I need. That's called an assessment. An assessment is a whole different process. We will be offering assessments probably somewhere around July 1, starting right around that time frame. But an assessment is where someone walks away with a pretty solid document of like trial data for device trials and us really doing a deep clinical medical review and us writing out the features of something very specific that that person needs. So an assessment is a paid service. So an individual or an agency would need to pay for that assessment. That's like us writing the prescription for the device. Unlike the consultation, which is that consumer-driven sort of exploratory experience with us being, experts in the field, providing some guidance. but that is the consumer-driven experience, is that consultation, versus the assessment, which is a more clinical, almost like a prescription that they get at the end. So what might you find in our library? We've got a wide variety of devices. So in and out of home community supports, we have all types of communication devices. Up here in the left-hand corner of the screen, that is a watch that has a communication program, an app on it. So for some folks, this is going to be a great mobile communication tool. It does not work for everybody, because the watch screen, even though it's large, it's still a small smartwatch screen compared to something like a tablet, right? So the individual needs to be able to pretty comfortably navigate a small screen, so that have to have kind of strong vision skills, strong hand-eye coordination, and they have to be pretty comfortable with this particular type of AAC app. But there are lots of mobile AAC apps. We have them on tablets. Some folks have lower tech versions that just may have a couple of symbols that they can carry around on like a sturdier device. So that is an option. We have some wearable technology, like what's called the Watchminder. So that is the watch on the right-hand side at the top of the screen. That is a smartwatch that you can program with up to 30 reminders, essentially. And when that reminder goes off, you get a written reminder on your screen and a vibration. It's kind of like just having a vibrational feedback on your phone, but your watch vibrates. So these are used a lot of times for folks with who need just extra prompting for transitions, extra prompting and reminders throughout the day. It could be a reminder that lunch is happening in 5 minutes, and that it vibrates again when it's time to take your afternoon meds. It vibrates again as a reminder, well, you'll be getting on the bus in 5 minutes. Again, it's that sort of prompting, vibrational reminder. It's discreet. It doesn't stand out as anything unusual, but it provides that sort of support throughout the day, and it reduces the number of times that you might need someone to provide sort of redirection or verbal prompts. So it's, again, to sort of reduce the need for an extra person there kind of prompting you. And then there's also apps that can help with social scripts. We have a new device that will be coming into our library very soon that is VR. It's like a VR headset and a whole VR program where people can practice skills like crossing the road, how to safely interact with police in different scenarios, how to place an order at Dunkin' Donuts. So all these sort of social skills that are built in, this app has that. You wear a VR headset, you have an opportunity to practice sort of in a safe way. And as you build your practicing skills, you start to internalize those skills so that then you can go out into the community and have those interactions and have some experience already with how to do that. So that is another program that we are actually just getting in. But there are apps that also provide sort of social skills development that we can talk to folks about. So again, if the goal is to build comfort levels around buying groceries at the grocery store, placing an order at the coffee shop, all of those things that you want to start to establish, we can help with that through assistive technology. Also, some in-home safety and supports. Lots of little things you can do in the house. There are water temperature and shut-off valves. So the picture at the top of the screen is actually an attachment that you just attach to the sink. And instead of turning the water on via the knobs where you could turn it on and then just forget that you've left it on, the only way the water turns on is when there's pressure pushing that little lever. As soon as you remove your hand from that lever, the water turns off. Little things like that. We also have in our lending library safety knobs. We can demonstrate smart cooktops. So for somebody who may not be fully able to utilize a stovetop and an oven without needing additional prompts or, additional support, there are smart cooktops that we can demo. Also, lots of daily living supports, medication reminders. What's on the screen there is a very high-tech one that includes a screen. It connects with Wi-Fi. It has a camera, so a loved one can check in and make sure that someone's taking their meds when they're prompted. This particular one only unlocks that specific day and time box where the meds are. But there's lots of different things that you can do with medication reminders, just depending on what that individual's needs are. We also can talk a little bit about how to set up Alexa or Google Nest to really kind of build a smart home so you can do things like pretty easily turn on lights, set timers to start the coffee pot, turn off the coffee pot, all of those sorts of things. So there's a lot that we have in our library that can really help with factoring in what does somebody need to do at home to feel independent and to reduce dependency on other supports and individuals. So how can we start to scaffold that level of support in the home so that there is more and more independence with assistive technology in place? We have on our website sort of a virtual library, and I say that in air quotations because it is not all encompassing. But you can go to our website, you can click on the Explore Our Library virtually, and what that does is it brings up a section of our site where we have options for aids for daily living, blind and low vision. And when you click those little down pointing arrows, it gives you all the subcategories, and you can click on that and you can just sort of see what some of the items are in our lending library. And again, this is all stuff that we have in our lending library. Some of the items are demo only, and I say that because they're not necessarily connected to subscription services, but we can at least show you what the thing looks like, how it operates, even if you can't take that thing home. We can at least provide some information about it. But by and large, the majority of our devices, you can get your hands on, you can try out in the library, and then you can take it home with you that day to borrow in your, whatever space. We also have a lot of webinars that we host. So if you go to our website, we're constantly updating our calendar. But right now you can see we have just this wide variety of webinars that are upcoming. These are free. Anybody can register. So we have one on lived experiences and the impact of accessibility. I have one coming up on AT after school. So it's assistive technology for neurodiverse students, both at work and home. So when it's not very school focused, but it really is about what type of tech can somebody use in that daily living realm, and also what might be helpful at work. So if you're going to work and you're, stocking shelves at the grocery store, what supports are there for you? We also have one on e-learning and accessibility, the new accessibility features in iOS, and how to make 3D printing work for you. So customizing some 3D prints, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. So again, anybody can register for these. The links are right on our website. All of our webinars are free, virtual, and we can also do some customized webinars. So if there's something that you have a really specific need for, you can reach out to us and we're happy to sort of build a session with you. We also have lots of different events and programs throughout the year. I mentioned earlier our inclusive accessible gaming. So we host these gaming events around the state, but we also have big suitcases full of all of this gaming equipment and very specific instructions and QR codes to show you how to set things up. So that if you are like, I really want to have one of these events in my space or at a local school because we partner with the school a lot, we can loan those kits out to you. They have the TVs, the gaming devices. So like we have the Switch, Xbox, laptops with games on there. So you can borrow those kits and actually set up and host those events yourselves. We host AT library tours all the time. Those are usually just set up. Someone reaches out. They say, I have a group of college students or I have a group of staff and we want to come in and tour your library. we will set those up, no problem. We have at least 1 to 2 library tours a week. So again, feel free to reach out if this is something where you're like, I'd really love to get some hands-on and see this stuff in person. We will happily set that up. And then we also run an AT Champions program. This is where we have a couple of interns every year. They are young adults, usually young adults with disabilities, who are going through sort of a curriculum with us on assistive technology and disability and advocacy. So they're sort of getting this broader spectrum of the disability experience. And then through the Champions program, they're also developing reels or, Instagram, TikTok posts for us around assistive technology. It's a way that we are trying to build bridges with younger adults with disabilities and making sure that they are aware of how assistive technology can be sort of integrated. And it's another way for us to connect with a whole demographic of individuals that we don't necessarily reach through traditional social media venues. We run a high-tech AT reuse program. So individuals, agencies, organizations can donate equipment that they no longer need. We refurbish it and we provide it back out to consumers at no cost. Again, you don't necessarily have to have a formal application submitted. There is one document. Somebody has to just check off that they cannot afford the equipment new. And you can search our inventory. So a lot of it is low tech, but we do have some high tech stuff in there. We have communication devices. We've had eye gaze systems. We have amplified telephones. So if there's an opportunity for us to provide a working, gently used assistive technology device to someone, we want to get that into their hands. And it is a very straightforward process. Our main offices are here in Baltimore, but this program is run out of our Columbia, Maryland space. Again, it's statewide, but it is where most of our reuse equipment is housed. So again, free access. Just go online. You can browse the inventory via the link and see what we have. And then you can just put in your request right from that site. We also run a 3D printing fab lab. So we have a wide variety of devices that we can 3D print. They are all low tech, but we can also do some customization. So we've done custom guitar picks, custom white cane holders for individuals. Just depending on what that person's need is, we can customize some solutions. But again, it's free. You click on the link that says view our 3D printed catalog. That catalog is also our Google form. So you go through, you check off all the things that you're interested in. You can even pick the colors you want. Our 3D Fab Lab coordinator will print those items and then ship it out, again, no charge to the consumer. So we really are charged with ensuring that people have access to assistive technology from low tech to high tech. And that's what we're trying to do so that we can make it easier for individuals. And there are even instances where we've collaborated, somebody needs a replacement part, or they have a device and something isn't working on that device. If we can print a piece to get it working again, we do that. So it really is just a matter of having those conversations with us. We run a low interest financial loan program as well. So for folks that want to purchase assistive technology and it is not covered through the waiver, it's not covered through voc rehab, in those cases, absolutely apply to our financing program. We issue loans between $500 and $10,000 for just general assistive technology. We can go up to $20,000 for home modifications. That can be bathroom adaptations, doorway widening, ramps, those sorts of things. And then between $40,000 and $70,000 for vehicles. So we can do financial loans for non-adapted and adapted vehicles. Reason being that lots of times there are individuals who have disabilities, they don't need an adapted vehicle, but they do need a vehicle. Could be fibromyalgia or some reason in which there is not a need for an adaptation, but certainly there is a need for a vehicle. So anybody can apply to our financial loan program. That is a formal application process. The links are on our website. And then we will work with them to figure out, sort of the next steps. But we do offer these financial loans. We also partner with the Centers for Independent Living around the state, with the exception of one. So there are 6 Centers for Independent Living that house portable ramps through our portable ramp program. those portable ramps are housed at the Centers for Independent Living. If someone is coming out of a rehab hospital, and they need to be able to get back into their home, or they have acquired a new disability and they need to figure out a short-term solution to get in and out, while we're working with them to figure out a longer-term solution, they can reach out to the Centers for Independent Living. And if we have a ramp that fits this, the entryway, the stairs that are at their house, we will certainly loan a portable ramp out to them for up to 4 months at a time, and simultaneously start to work with them to see if there are other solutions that we can explore, whether that be our financial loan program, or if there's other options within the state, accessible homes for seniors, or a program through Department of Housing, whatever it is. We start to approach that sort of holistically as soon as we can get them that immediate access in and out of their home. So when it comes to assistive technology, we always say follow the map. You identify what your challenge is. What is your need? Reach out to us. We will provide that consultation. Again, free of charge. No need to worry about that piece of it. If you're, looking at sort of AT that can be borrowed from our library, we want you to try that out. We're going to help you make those decisions about what's going to work best for you. And then we can help you figure out how to get that AT, whether it's through financing, whether it's through our reuse program, whether it's through a collaboration of other programs. Again, if someone's using the waiver to get, to write in a request for assistive technology, they can borrow the devices from us first to make sure it's the right fit, the right solution for them. So again, just follow that map that we have. And we do partner with some other organizations. We do try to help them find funding outside of other resources or outside of our program. There are small assistive technology grants at the SILs, potentially list funding, obviously the waivers that we talk about. So we have those conversations right off the bat with consumers. And we do partner with a couple of other programs. There's a organization called AT Discount Sales and Services. That is a company that works with AT vendors across the world to negotiate discounts on that equipment. Those discounts are passed on to the individuals who are buying AT and also to organizations. So if an organization or a school district needs to purchase a bunch of something, this company will pass those discounts on. So they negotiate these discounted rates, and then they do this bulk purchasing. It's a really great program. They can't get everything, but they do have connections with many, many, many vendors of assistive technology, so that some of those cost savings can be really substantial. And then our sister agency is what's called the MAT program. So we're TAP, then there's MAT. MAT is Maryland Accessible Telecommunications. They can provide all kinds of assistive technology communication tech to folks of all disabilities. So you could have hearing loss, vision loss, physical disabilities. These can include iPads with communication devices, adapted telephones. It's available to anybody age 3 and up. There's a qualification process for them, and they will happily kind of walk folks through what that qualification process is, but it is pretty broad. So a lot of people qualify for that program, but they are a sister agency. They are also under the Department of Disabilities, so we collaborate very closely. We focus more on AT, they focus more on telecommunications. So what is that? Those phones or communication apps that are going to help people connect with the outside world. And with that, you can find us on social media. I'm going to drop my email into the chat, but I am happy to answer questions for folks. And I am going to stop sharing this so I can see everybody.
Okay, Lori, we do have one question in the chat that I'll read off to you. It says, "Hi, Lori, do you make home visits or recommend speech therapists that can?"
We do not make home visits, but we can provide you with a list of SLPs that could coordinate that. We don't do speech therapy or speech therapy assessments. Now, we do have a lot of communication devices, and we will do those consultations, but for anybody that needs a formal speech assessment, They will definitely need to work with a speech therapist. So we will send you that. Let me drop my email address in here right now. And then you can reach out to me and I will get you that link.
And that actually answers the second question, Lori, where the individual asks for contact information to be shared. And then Heidi answered the second part to that person's question, which was, would the slides be shared? And yes, the slides will be shared and this recording will be shared as well. We can now open up the floor to any questions that did not get put into the chat. I like to give that pregnant pause just for individuals to have that moment to unmute themselves.
And, sometimes I hear lots of information and it takes me a while to process. So again, if you think of something later or you're like, oh, wait, do you have this thing? Because I was working with this client, just reach out. It's fine if you don't have that question now, but we are always here to answer questions. So you can reach out to us at any time.
Lori, that was an incredible presentation. I know I learned a lot, so I'm hoping that everyone else. So I understand people need to think a little bit, but I've been working with you guys for four plus years, and I was like, oh, I didn't know they did that. I didn't know they did that. So I didn't even know you're statewide. I mean, all over every state has one. So thank you. That was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to always share more information. Certainly extend the invitation to staff if there's ever an interest in coming and doing a site visit, getting a field trip in. Come to Baltimore. We're happy to take you through our library and really have the chance to get some hands-on. Sometimes we can talk about it, we can say what something does, but it's way more impactful when you can put that thing on and be like, oh, wow, this does this, or, try different things out. So we're always happy to bring folks in to have that opportunity. And if you're working with clients who would like to come in, again, schedule those appointments. We will take the time to work with them to figure out what's going to work best and then help them make some informed choices about what they want to try out at home, at their day program, wherever it is.
Thank you, Lori. Okay, so once again, thank you, Lori, and we look forward to bringing you back for a part two to this presentation where you'll dive in more specific to assistive technology that can be used for DDA and how your program works alongside DDA to support those who need assistive technology devices. Thanks once again. This was a great presentation and a wealth of information. Myself and the audience greatly appreciate it. We're getting some thank yous, and we had another comment that previously thanked you for this valuable information. At this time, we can move to any providers that wish to take an opportunity to introduce their agency. Just a few ground rules. This is just a short introduction of your agency. So if you can just include briefly what services you provide, and then if you could please share what region you serve. Details about the how you do your services and what each service is, your agency in itself can be put in the chat by way of a brochure or some sort of informational packet. That information will be attached to this presentation that Heidi makes sure that everyone receives at a later date. So I'll go ahead and I'll open the floor to anyone who wants to introduce their agency.
Thank you so much. I can go. I can go briefly. Thank you so much for this valuable session. This is great. My name is Kenny Akintade. I'm the administrator here with Adonai Home Care Services, Inc. We're aligned to the Western region, but we definitely serve the entire Maryland. So we are approved to serve the entire 4 regions. And we do provide services. I just put in the group chat, services from personal support, supported living, CDS, transportation, respite care, employment services, nursing support, community living group home, and we're currently also being working on getting approved for behavioral support services as well. So I'm also going to attach a little flyer here in the chat as well. But again, we're open to taking, referrals, and this is something that's very that's come to us a couple of times, where some of the individuals we're serving need, technology in their
Mm.
everyday lives, especially for during the CVS activities and during their day habilitation program. So I'll definitely be in touch with Lori for sure. And I think this is going to serve us very well. So I just want to take the time out to say a big thank you for your time today. This is very enlightening and I think also insightful for us as well. So thank you so much. Again, the name of our agency is Adonai Home Care Services, Inc. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you. Do we have another provider that wished to do a short introduction of their agency? Wonderful. Without further ado, I want to just tell everyone thank you once again for taking the time out to join us for our Cup of Joe. This platform is offered to anyone that's providers, clients, individuals who are just seeking out more information to be able to better support someone that they support. So do feel free to share this platform to any and everyone. We love and value information sharing. So anyone and everyone's able to join. Heidi will be sending, or she will send out this information. It will be on our YouTube page, if I'm not mistaken, where you can go back and listen to this recording once again. If there's any information that you need to revisit, Lori did give her contact information, so feel free to use that. She will be coming back for part 2, as we did discuss already. So then without further ado, we can go ahead and dismiss, and thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next month.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.